guys. So when you watch this video, it probably will be Earth Day. So happy Earth Day. And I put my trees back out again and some other things that I'm going to be talking about, but they represent some pretty important things about the Earth to me. And I wanted to talk to you about just a couple of superheroes of planet Earth. And both of these people go back in time a little bit. I didn't write a poem about them. I wrote an Earth Day poem, which I'll share with you in just a minute. But this first person I want to talk about was named Rachel Carson. And Ms. Carson lived back in the 40s and 50s. But she was what you call a marine biologist. She was a founder, actually, of something called environmental science. And she wrote several books that became very important. But what I like to think she's most important for is preserving and protecting the oceans, because she knew how much damage we could do if we didn't protect the oceans, and what the oceans have to give us in terms of energy and sea life and everything else. So we want to protect the oceans, and Rachel Carson was big into that. And the other person I wanted to talk about was Theodore Roosevelt, Teddy Roosevelt, who was the 26th president of the United States. And he went back a little further in time, but what he's famous for, he's famous for many things, but one of the things he's famous for is basically designating millions of acres of land for nature preserves and national parks. And not only that, but Teddy Roosevelt believed big time in protecting and preserving birds. And he said that when birds are extinct, when certain species of birds are no longer around, he said it's like the loss of a gallery of the artist of old time, because they're so beautiful. And he said they are by right not the property of people who are alive today. He said they're really supposed to be around for the people who come after us, my children and grandchildren and your children and grandchildren. So both of these people are heroes of planet Earth. I wanted to talk to you a little bit about some of the ways or some of the things that you can do to celebrate Earth Day. And the point being that Earth Day, while there is a certain day of the year that is designated as Earth Day is really all year long, every day, all day, if we're gonna do a good job in protecting the planet. And one of the things, and I'm gonna mention some of these in the poem, but one of the things that I don't think I talk about is planting a garden. And I planted just a few, I'm gonna plant these trees outside when I can, but I planted a couple of little things for just a windowsill garden. I planted lavender and I planted some sunflowers. But it's possible you actually already have gardens at your house and in your yard. A lot of people do, and that's a really good way to help planet Earth, by growing some of your own food. And then these bracelets that I'm wearing are actually from a company that harvests glass, basically gets glass out of the ocean that people have thrown away, and they recycle them into glass beads. So I have two beads that are made of glass that came from the ocean, and it's just one little tiny thing that I can do to try to help the oceans be a little bit healthier. So let me read the poem to you that I wrote about Earth Day. It says, "What are you doing for Earth Day?" What are you doing for Earth Day? I'm going to plant a tree, and years from now, I'll know I left an important legacy. But Earth Day isn't just one day, it's every day of the year. If we're going to help planet Earth, then our job is very clear. We all need to recycle and use more paper bags, reusable instead of plastic, and use more washable rags. I'll use less water to brush my teeth. It's the right thing to do. I can use longer lasting light bulbs and pick up garbage too. There are many things that I can do, even though I'm still quite small. For starters, though, I'll plant that tree so my children can see it grow tall. So it takes many years for trees that you plant to get tall, and it'll take a lot of years for these to grow tall. But it's a start, right? If we plant, then it's at least a start. This last one that I want to read is one that Charlie requested, and it is about ants, because ants fascinate him, and that's kind of been a source of entertainment for him, watching the ants in his backyard work. Ants just totally fascinate me. They're very unique creatures. They have their superhuman strength and lots of interesting features. They can carry 10 times their body weight. They're strong because they're small. They have no lungs like people do, and they don't have ears at all. I love to watch the ants as they parade up their big hills. They're also very busy marching on my windowsills. They seem to love my cookie crumbs. They really like my pie. They'd probably like my hanging fruit if only they could fly. I know if I drop breadcrumbs, the ants in my yard will carry them together up their high ant hill. So ants are pretty cool creatures, and they are entertaining to watch. And I don't know if I can quickly pull this up, but this is a video of just a short clip of ants doing something pretty amazing. They are moving, they're working together to move a pea. It may work and it may not work. Okay, and I don't know if we can, I know there's probably a glare on my iPad like always, but you can see them working together to move that pea, which is really pretty amazing. Sometimes I think if people had the ability to work together like ants do, the world would really be a better place. So Charlie, there is your poem about ants, and thank you for the topic. And happy Earth Day, everybody. And remember Rachel Carson and President Theodore Roosevelt. They were our two heroes for the day. And 143, and I will see you soon.